All right, so the next thing we're going to do after we've done this blanket stitch all the way around 3 sides, we're leaving that one side not done, is we're going to do a whip stitch, and we're going to start with a thread. We don't hardly ever sew with a double thread, so this is a single thread with a knot in one thread. This side is shorter. The short piece of thread from here to here is your reservoir of thread. So you start out with it long down here, and as you sew and use up this piece in here, then you pull it up and up and up and up until you use it all up, and you stop and knot it off. So you're going to leave it like that and leave part to sew with down here. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find the right side, whichever side looks better and that doesn't have all the knots on it and stuff. So I'm just gonna look and see where I finished the knots. It looks like it's that side. Okay, so the knots are on this side, so this is the back. So we're gonna take this side that has the finished edge on it, and we're gonna put it in the hair tie. And we're gonna fold it over the hair tie like that, that's about 3/4 of an inch. Yep, it's about 5/8, nope, it's about 3/4 of an inch. And then you're gonna take this thread and come up behind here, so the knot will be behind, and we're going to do a whip stitch. So hopefully you learned how to do a whip stitch, and it can be a little less than 3/4 if you want it to be, but not a lot less than that. And you're going to come over here and you're going to go through both pieces and around, and you're trying to only take a little tiny bite out of the front where it's going to show, and you can take a bigger bite out of the back, but we don't want a bunch of big ugly stitches across here, so be careful and just take a little bite out of here and then go through there and come around, and you're going to just whip this down. Has a little piece of thread on there. Get rid of that. And I'm using the same color of thread, so hopefully it's going to hide on the other side, so you hardly see any stitches. And I'm going about 1/8 of an inch apart so that it's close enough together to sew it down, but it's not so close together that it's going to show up a whole lot on the other side. And just take a little bite out of the lower piece. You're going to go all the way to the edge. And I'm almost to the edge. Make sure you get a bite out of both of those pieces of fabric. Get your needle in both of those fabrics. And then when you turn it over, it should just barely show all the way across, so that you hardly have any. So you gotta control your needle and keep it from getting too much of a bite out of the front of the fabric. Then you're gonna come here and you're gonna do a couple right here on the edge to secure it. And then once you've got a couple on this side, you're going to find your thread just like we did before, and you're going to go underneath some of those threads, and before that loop closes down, you're going to put your needle through it and pull it tight, and you're going to do that 3 times. And then I'll show you a trick, since there's a couple of layers of fabric here. So that's 2. Here's the last time, there's 3. And then you're going to take your needle and you're going to sandwich it in between those other layers of fabric, and you're going to pull it up, and it's going to hide the end inside so that you're not going to see it. So when we cut it off, it's sandwiched inside here and you're not going to see it. And then it won't hang out and look bad. So now we have it all finished on that end. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look, and this is the front, this is the back, because it looks kind of, you know, more rough, and this is the front where it looks really nice. And you're going to take it and you're going to put the wrong side, or the right sides together, excuse me. You're going to put the right sides together. You're going to put a new knot in your thread, because I cut the knot off when I knotted it off. Okay, I'm going to put a new knot in there. And then I'm going to put right sides together. And I'm going to come up like this. And I'm going to do a whip stitch around like you did on your other one. That one got caught on the corner, so I'm going to get my needle and pull it off so it goes around the top. And I'm going to whip it down, all the way down. And I'm going to go back because it needs to be really secure on this side because we're not sewing it with the machine. We're almost done. And then back right here. And now we're going to flip it inside out. And it's going to make a nice little point. We can use our little end of our seam gauge to pop it out. It makes a nice little point like that for the front of the bookmark. And then we're going to take this side and take a couple of stitches in this to secure the tip, this little triangle down so it doesn't flap around. I only need about 3 stitches here. And then we're going to go up on the other side and center it in the other side right here. And we're going to put our button on right there, and you can watch that on the next video, how to put the button on.